At the end of yesterday's episode, we were talking about fastening the crane, if I can get it off, onto our aircraft. And, okay. Now, I maybe made a mistake yesterday in that when I nipped this off here, maybe I should have left one strand. And here's my thinking. I'm just going to reposition everything here so it shows up better. Okay, now this is silhouetted against the white paper there. Now, you will remember how there was 4 individual lines coming up from the end here. Now, yes, this place that we had CA'd onto, it was, from about here to probably about here. But there was 4 individual strands. Now, what I should have done was cut off 3 of them and then left 1 strand that I could take and loop it back, go up and around, and then just glue it back onto the side here somehow as carefully as I could. And the reason being is that 1 loop then would have worked quite well with the way this hook on this crane is designed. In fact, I'll take a piece of Easy Line and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I'll put the macro lens on, you'll be able to see this hook a lot better. Now, Easy Line is kind of flat, and I've taken it and I've gone around this way, and if I push down on it, you can sort of see how it flattens out like that. Whoops, have to poke at it, don't I? Okay, now our hook. Okay, now if I keep everything close to this little pinhole that I've got in the paper here, this should work. And I'll hold it down here with my pointer. If I can grab a hold of this like this and go up like this. Okay, I'm going to have to glue it back together again. I guess I didn't do a very good job. Well, I show everything, don't I? Okay, here's that same piece again. It's a little smaller, and it's not as pretty, kind of curled up here where I CA'd it. Now, the purpose of this is to show you what I'm talking about and also to try it out for myself, because I actually have not tried this out yet, but I'm sure it's going to work because I can tell by the way the hook is shaped. It's actually designed for that sort of thing. Now, let's see if I can get a hold of it. And once again, we're going to carefully hold this down. Now we'll grab a hold of this. Now if I go in like this, now, see what I'm talking about? Now, that means it can also be removed if ever I want to, move the ship around. Yeah. So now we've got to figure out how do we take and get something like this mounted on the end of that line that comes up from the aircraft so that it doesn't look like a big clunky glob of CA glue. First thing this morning, I checked the status on our little package that we were supposed to have yesterday by 1:30 p.m., and it appears that Canada Post has been adversely affected by this COVID thing, just like most everything else in the world. Okay, now here's the plan. What I want to do is, I don't want to have this line all scrunched up like this right here, because the CA glue could quite easily wick its way along and glue this all together. So what I want to try to do is have it stretched out. I wonder if maybe if I was to take a pin. Now a lot of this I think about it as I'm videoing, and it may well be frustrating. So let me get a pin here. Okay, if I could just fasten this out now. Something like that. Yeah. Obviously that's, the pin's got to go forward just a little bit, I believe. Actually, it can correct itself afterwards. Hard to get a hold of that. I got to be careful I don't crush that connection there, because as I mentioned a couple of episodes ago, this CA glue is very brittle right now. Let's just move the pin forward just a little bit here. Okay, now maybe it's going to want to stay. Yeah, there we go. Okay, had to poke at it. Okay, now something like that. Now, I've got lots of little scrap pieces of Easy Light. I don't have to use this one. But my thinking is, what I could do is glue one piece on one side, let it cure, and then loop it around, and then glue it on the other side. Once the CA is hardened, it's going to be a little bit. Do I have this pin on the wrong side of this one right here? Let me put on my strong glasses and have a look there. Okay, I thought as long as I'm putting on my strong glasses, I'd put on yours too. And yes, that's what's wrong. I've got the pin on the wrong side here. Let's try and get it. That should work better. Okay. No wonder I was having so much trouble getting this little thing just right. Maybe I could put it back in the other hole now. Is that going to be right though? No, maybe I'm better off where I was. All right, how about halfway in between? Yeah. Oh, by the way, this is waxed paper from a cereal box. So if the CA gets stuck on there, it's not going to glue our Easy Line to the... That looks pretty good. Okay, I have just sharpened and honed my homemade scalpel here on my Tormac, so it should be really sharp here. It should be fairly sharp. Well, it cut through the wax paper. Now, I know people say you can't sharpen a razor blade, but I think you can. No, I basically just sharpened it out on the end there. I didn't, yeah, that's gone better. You notice it where I don't know if you can see that, but you'll notice it's kind of rounded over and rounded up. I guess maybe if I had held it more like this, it might have worked better. Okay. Maybe I'm putting too much pressure down. Anyway, I wish it was a little stiffer, like your regular hobby knife, the number 11 blades or whatever they are. Yeah. Okay, I got curious. Was it number 11? And yes, it is. Now, I probably would be better off resharpening the point on that. I can't remember if I have or not. Let's just try it here. Maybe I'll just pass this over the stone and that other thing that has the leather around the wheel. It's funny, I can't think of the name of things. Okay, so here's the plan. I want to glue one side. May as well have it going the way it's going to naturally want to curve, because it'll be easier to swing it around later. Because this is rubber, it's hard to slide it. Every time you try to slide it, it rolls. Now let's say I was to glue this on here. Then after it sets, oh, come on. Okay, something like that. If I could maybe tape it down so it's not going to move on me. And just put a tiniest amount of glue on there. Maybe I'll try using the tip of a pin or something like that. And just glue that on there. Okay, now don't move it. Mind you, I'm not going to be able to get the tape on there without moving it anyway. I'm just going to go ahead and work at it, because I'm sure I'm driving everybody crazy here with this. Okay, I don't think I need to explain what's happening here. What I do have, however, is a pin that has the point nipped off. Oh, I don't know if this is going to work here. All I'm doing is, if I could just weld those two together, so to speak. That is not going to be a strong connection. That is going to break off. In fact, there's no use even hoping that it's going to stay on, unless the piece that loops around overlaps it, and that might work. And then the piece that overlaps could go further down towards the pin that's stuck in the paper. That is not what I'd hoped for. Okay, I'm kind of curious now. How badly has this all stuck to our pin? Oh, not too bad. But that connection is not strong. Maybe if I was to use another pin to hold it, like something like this. To make matters worse, I'm getting a cramp in my fingers. Okay, hey, no, if we could just hold it down there. Now if I could bring this end up a bit. Oh, my pin's falling out. I guess I didn't stick it in far enough. Well, we'll start again. You know what? I think you know what I'm trying to do here, so I'm just going to go ahead and get it lined up, and then we'll push record again. Now, I thought I had it there, but I'm noticing now that I don't have any glue on the end of this, by the way, but this end is just a little bit too far up this way. If I could pull it back. So what I'm hoping is that this loop that I've gone around and come back again with, I want it to also be touching this line where the bad connection is, and see if I can't just reinforce that bad connection here. And I know it's going to look like there's a little blob of glue, but if anybody says, what's that blob of glue, I'll say that's not a blob of glue, that's a clevis. Okay, let's try and see what happens here now. Okay, it's stuck on there. Let's just let that dry, cure, and then I'll reinforce it up here at the end where I'm almost touching. So my neighbor was mowing her grass, and now she's over mowing mine. Doesn't she know I'm trying to do a video here? Some people are so thoughtless. I have deliberately overexposed this scene because I want the detail that's in that black easy line to show up. If you look at it, you can see quite clearly it's made out of individual strands, and you can also see it's kind of flat, kind of like almost like a ribbon. Okay, now for sure I've glued it to the pin, but I think I can break it loose. Now I sure do hope you know I was just kidding there about mowing the grass when I'm trying to video. She and her husband have been mowing my grass now for the last 3 or 4 years, and I am so grateful. They can do it anytime they want. I can always push the pause button. Now that super macro there does a really nice job if you just need to see like a millimeter or two on either side of whatever it is you're working with. But sometimes, like the regular macro that we have on right here, it shows gives you an idea of what's on each side. Like you see the more of the general area, but you just don't quite get in like on that little knot there and see it as clear. Well, and for you camera buffs, that last scene that I overexposed it by 2 f-stops. This scene here, it's only just under 1 f-stop overexposed to offset the white paper here. Okay, now my thinking is let's take our pins out, and how badly has it stuck? Now I want to try and hold this down maybe. Okay, I don't want to accidentally fracture this joint here. I think the CA is still probably fresh enough. About an hour has passed, by the way. It may not be quite as brittle as it could be, and I think this is going to be still flexible, and that's where we have to hook it onto our crane. We'll talk about that later. Let's just very, very carefully here now. Maybe I'll use this end of it. I just don't want it to go springing back. Could use my finger too. Hey, why not use my finger? Okay, I'll just get my big old unkempt finger in here, and you have to put up with the fact that I forgot to go to the manicures this morning. Okay, here we go. And we break that off. Can you still see it? Oh no. It's ruined our connection. It twisted off on me. Now what are we going to do? Well, maybe not all is lost. I think a lot of it is still there. Can I scrape that off? Oh, that means that we're going to have our okay, I'm going to have to push stop here and think about what I'm going to do. Okay, let's see if we can scrape this, turn this up like this and just sort of scrape that off. And maybe, you notice there's a little tiny strand holding it together there. That might be a blessing. See if I can get that off. Okay, now there's one little strand here. Boy, they're small. I don't know if I can see it. I don't know if you can see it. Still stuck on there. Okay, here it is. There, it's off. I hope I didn't move that out of your field of view while I was working at it. Now, will it be possible to maybe just give this all a slight twist? Because I think maybe we can. If I can grab onto it just a little bit differently there. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Now, my thinking is, maybe if I put an alligator clip on this tweezer here to hold it together. Okay, now I can hold it with both hands and just sort of twist this. Kind of wind it up, if you know what I mean. And try and get past all that garbage there. Can we get this up? I'll go around a couple more times. I think you get the idea of what I'm trying to do here. Okay, now we've got that blinking knot there, or piece sticking out right there. You can see it there, and I don't know if I can cut that off later or not. Now, where's my CA? And just sort of touch it right there. Okay, just bear with me, please. Now, my hope is that this will all sort of solidify into like a solid shaft or a rod or something. And then if I can trim it down later and paint it gray, bunch of wishful thinking here. Where's my hose? Okay, I hope the battery on my camera doesn't run out. I just took a look at my monitor, and I'm afraid that I may have accidentally got things out of your field of view for a while there. I don't know. Now what's going to happen? It's going to kind of curl up like it right there. It looks very unnatural, but I do believe that the weight of the plane should hold all of this. Okay, I think we're cured. Okay, I realize that the blade is probably going to block your view, but you see this little thing sticking out there? I was thinking if I could cut that one off. Maybe I'll use something else to hold it down. My finger is just too big. Okay, we'll use our pointer here. Okay, I got that one. Now there's another one here. Yeah, I trimmed it down a little bit. Well, we'll see how that looks now after it's painted. I don't think I dare trim anything else for fear of accidentally cutting one of the main lines. Alright, well at least we got rid of some of it here. So Ron, how much does Tony's plane weigh? Oh, I don't know, let's find out. .2 grams. That should get airborne. All this fooling around took a lot more time than I thought here, and this video is already going on for about 26 minutes. So we're going to have to cut it off for today, and we're going to see how it hangs tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.